The Flash is the worst movie I ever watched. And this is another Sarasalandcast for the YouTube channel. And I know your host Real Zeros for tonight. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Anyway, so I'm almost for like 20 glorious minutes. The Flash had original movie and script, and then like most of my dreams dashed among the rocks. I swear the Flash is set up so well, but much like a David Cage game, immediate garbage after 10 or 15 minutes. So the Flash opens when the Barry Allen is getting his coffee and complaining about his love life. Then Barry gets a call from Alfred about a crisis involving Falcone's son with Scarecrow's fear gas in Gotham City. Might as well be Scarecrow's fart gas for all we know.
Yep.
Barry gets annoyed and complains about how come Alfred didn't call Superman or Wonder Woman first, and then proceeds to race over the Gotham City. Eventually, as the crisis worsens, an earthquake craters the foundation of a hospital, and Barry rushes out to save several babies and a nurse, running to the air off the falling debris from the crumbling building. When the sequence starts, as soon as the babies start falling, they turn in the worst CGI possible, and it's kind of funny and goofy, and that's kind of good. They introduced another design concept that will never come again in the movie, Barry's hunger meter. If Barry is too hungry, he can't run at peak speed. So in the falling sequence, he breaks a vending machine and eats everything, and then he can run fast again. So he's committing petty larceny. And remember, tons of writers tried to make this movie feasible, which is why it's a train wreck. After the hospital, Batfleck catches Falcone's son falling off a bridge, and the fart gas is about to fall. Eventually, Barry steps in to help, and then eventually Wonder Woman shows up to help, gets her paycheck, and bows out of the movie. Barry returns to his home city, being disgruntled and whiny, going to his work, talking to his sidekicks, who are basically Cisco and Caitlin from the Flash CW series, then getting shit on by his boss, and then the next day reporting to his father's court date about his father being framed for his mother's murder. After the court date, Barry meets Iris West, who eventually gives the idea to travel back in time to reverse his mother dying. And that's why I said the Gotham chase was at least an attempt to be original, rather than just Flashpoint Paradox, Days of Future Past, or Avengers Endgame. So Barry runs to the past, changes it, runs back. His mom is alive, and a happy-go-lucky version of Barry exists. Barry 2 doesn't have powers, and Barry Prime starts losing his powers to Barry 2, essentially. After Barry 2 starts to have a joyride with said powers, the duo find out due to Barry Prime's time-changing shenanigans, somehow Zod has returned and brought an armada of Kryptonians to conquer Earth. To help them stop Zod, Barry Prime looks through the phone book for Batman. Barry eventually finds Michael Keaton Batman, who's been in retirement for some time since Gotham has literally been crime-free. Barry Prime then uses Batman's computer to find not any Superman, but a link to go to Russia because copy pasta Red Sun here. That just seems... Well, anyway, they copy so many things else that it just doesn't land, so... Where was I? Oh, right. Sorry. With Batman's help, the trio fly to Russia, fight Spetsnaz, and who cares at this point, because it's pretty much Spetsnaz, and eventually locate Supergirl. They carry out her to the sunlight as she regains her powers. With Supergirl rescued, they go to fight Zod. Zod drops a bomb that he killed Superman because Zod and co. thought Superman had a genetic template to create the perfect human being, or a perfect Kryptonian being. It doesn't matter at this point. But in reality, Supergirl has a perfect genetic template, which is always par for the course. Zod doesn't want to kill Supergirl, he just wants her for her body, so, you know. Literally, he come with Zod wants to conquer Earth for their materials, which I guess was Man of Steel before. Or some of their clever contrivance. No, it's gotta be creepy. So as the battle rages on, Zod kills Supergirl because reasons, with a blade. Unexplained if it's kryptonite or some other advanced material because more reasons. Batman dies just because, and Barry Prime, which Barry Prime reobtained with Batman's help. I don't know why that's just a bit confusing. Barry Prime and Barry 2 run back in time to reverse the outcome, and next time the same outcome happens, this time Barry 2's arm is impaled with shrapnel, And after killing Ursa with the shrapnel, one of Zod's cronies, both Barrys run to the past to figure out how to save their friends. Only this time Barry 2 runs back too many times, creates a paradox of Barry 2 becoming a villain. So if confusing, Barry Prime, Barry 2, and Barry 2 villain are present in this time travel sphere. During these revelations of different realities, dimensions of DC start to collide with each other due to the unraveling of the universe. A way better finale is the regular show one, just watch that instead. And these extensive shots of the realities happen. One show Jay Garrick, one show Christopher Reeve, Superman and Helen Slater, Supergirl. Another one shows Nicolas Cage as Superman fighting a giant spider. Barely any visual of the Batman's 60s show, which is even dumber considering the constant jabs at Batman and the fact of the fawning shots of George Reeves, Christopher Reeves, no relation to that guy, I guess. And Nicolas Cage do absolutely nothing for the plot, nor do they help the Barrys in their fight, nor do they move the story along, which means all this stuff is pointless and they just did it to look cool. Newsflash, sitting on your own main corners of your franchise is just to be edgy and likable while fawning over absolutely stupid bullshit is par for the course for DC. You know why Marvel's so successful? Because they build off each other instead of tearing everything down. Possibly only Deadpool does this, and it's fine because that's his shtick. But it did the whole Marvel universe consistently shit on Iron Man every movie. I mean that would be funny, right? No, they did not. And Batman's the same way. I made a whole video about the Batgirl cancellation and a joke that the metric tons of game movies and TV shows made about the Batman universe. Speaking about that, the Flash movie was greenlit, but Batgirl was trash. This Flash movie is absolute garbage. Reusing so many assets from previous movie, it hurts. So, before we get to my full unhinged rant at the end of the movie, villain Flash tries to kill Barry Prime. Barry 2 steps in, taking the blow, thus erasing both Barry 2 and villain Barry from the timeline. Barry goes back to the past, changing the timeline by damning his mother, but finding evidence that exonerates his father in the present day. As the movie nears its runtime, George Clooney, Batman from another alternate timeline, appears to screw with Barry Prime in the audience. And then here's the other points of the thing that I thought were even more stupid with bullet points. So yeah, Ezra Miller is the most insufferable person in the whole movie, possibly even more than Jared Leto. I mean, if Ezra Miller and Jared Leto did a movie, I feel like it wouldn't even sell one copy. It would just be $1 at the box office, or negative 0 cents, or negative money. The guy from the CW series, Grant Gustin, he should have been the other Flash. I mean, a lot of people have said this, but it kind of goes without saying, having Ezra Miller in stereo is really bad. Is god awful, honestly. And I didn't even realize the goobers from Man of Steel were different guys. I thought they were the same people from the Superman 1 movie, which I thought they were called Ursa and I guess Non. And I guess they changed the names, which was even dumber, because why would you change names? So, but the fact of the matter that it's a Superman villain, it's just really dumb. It should have been a villain from Flash's gallery or Rogues Gallery, instead of recycling Superman shit because you're out of ideas. I mean, if you're not going to steal anybody from the CW, I mean, you aren't capable of being original, so why not try something else? Again, when they show the different realities, it just serves no purpose and keeps recycling Superman shit. And again, if anything, Jay Garrick could have been the other Flash. The funny thing is, the Supergirl in this movie is probably the better. Supergirl and Batman are the best thing about this movie, but it almost she's more like Powergirl because she has shorter hair, and in one of the Powergirl comics there is a clone of Powergirl called Divine, and she has black hair, so that's more what they were going for, I would assume. But yeah, it's just another tangent that I've just thought of. But also, it's just Batman and Supergirl are the only bright spot in the movie, and why is entire DCU so dark and dreary? Like Superman, Robert Pattinson, Batman, Wonder Woman, Batfleck, Suicide Squad 2, Peacemaker, and Jesus Christ, what is wrong with DC? Again, the saddest thing is that Aquaman is the only, like, super bright movie because, like, ocean colors and stuff, and, like, yeah, like, another thing is, we really need a sad sack story of when my parents died, woe is me. I'm so tired of Batman's parents getting shot in the alleyway, and oh no, Krypton blew up for the 76th time. Who the fuck cares? Might as well go piss on Uncle Ben's grave. How many times has he died? You know? No?
No.
You could have an original movie instead of reversing bad fortunes. And, like, another similar thing is, like, this could be compared to Scarlet Witch with the same thing of saving a loved one from dying. The last two things is, which I came from watching other reviews too, was they never mentioned this, I swear, that Flash does a stupid-ass pose at the beginning of the movie, and they think they were going to get the kids with that, or, you know, people are going to be like, okay, that's cool. You know, it'll be as iconic as the Iron Man landing. No way, it's not. But yeah, it's just like, the last thing is, if they were so hell-bent on representing Batman and representing Superman and kneecapping Batman, why stop there? Why not include any contemporary Superman from the last 20 years? It doesn't really matter, because this is a Superman movie that wants to escape the curse of Superman movies and media being terrible and unapproachable. People agreeing that Superman is better than Batman, even just for argumentative sake, is even worse, because if Superman is perfect and can do anything, there's no reason to be invested in the character, and doubly so for a movie. So that's all I got to say about the Flash movie. As terrible as the Flash CW series is, it started out pretty good, and it was enjoyable for a time, but, like, it just kind of goes to show that, like, if you're committed to a terrible idea, you will, you know, you won't change course no matter what happens. And same thing with, like, a David Cage game. It's just, it will be awful, and doesn't matter if you commit faux pas, you'll still do the same thing no matter what happens. So, not to end on a dark note, but thank you for watching, and hopefully you have a good day or night wherever you are. I'm your host, Real Zero, signing off for the night.